Hi, everyone. Thank you all for joining. I can see a bunch of people appearing already. That's great. While a few more people are logging on, I'm super keen to know where everyone's from. So if you can just drop your location, where you're coming from, maybe your restaurant, your name. I'd love to know whereabouts people are dialing in from. That'd be fantastic. You should be able to see that in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen, the little chat. We'll also be doing our best to answer all the questions that we get either during or after. So stick around to the end. We'll have a Q&A at the end. Okay, just a little bit of an introduction. My name is Shannon. I am the CEO of HungryHungry, Moby, and Otto. I've been in the industry with software and hospitality for the last 20 years. And a little fun fact is that I've spent the whole weekend with my son at the City of Melbourne go-karting titles here in Melbourne, and we've had an interesting session, an interesting weekend. It was great. It was a lot of fun, but we learned a lot, and that's what I think we can take out of this and also apply this to everything we do. So here's what you're going to get out of today's session. First of all, number one, how customers are finding venues now and what it takes to show up in an AI answer. Number two, what platform consolidation means for who owns your customer relationship. Number three, the three decisions the venues growing right now have already made. The fact that you're here today puts you in a very small minority. Most venue owners are too busy running their business to invest in it. You're doing both. And I genuinely mean this. That decision already separates you from your competitors. I've spent almost 20 years in hospitality tech. I've worked with thousands of venues across Australia and New Zealand. And the pattern I keep seeing over and over is the gap between venues that grow and the venues that struggle rarely comes down to the food, the location, or even the team. It almost always comes down to the information, who has it and who acts on it. So 30 minutes. I want to give you the information that matters most right now. Let's make it count. I want to start with something that's been moving faster than most operators have had time to clock. In the last 18 months, three things happened that have quietly changed the rules for venues like yours, not slowly, very quickly. And the venues that spotted it early are already pulling ahead. I want to show you what they are, because if you're here today, you're exactly the kind of operator who can act on them. Let me start with a number that genuinely stopped me in my tracks. In February 2025, just over a year ago, 10% of restaurant search queries were triggering AI-generated results. Someone types, "Where should I go eat tonight?" And instead of a list of links, they get a direct recommendation from ChatGPT or Google's AI overview. By February 2026, just 12 months later, that number was 78%. I'm a self-confessed data nerd. I've watched a lot of shifts in 20 years. I've never seen anything move that fast. Here's what it means on the ground. Right now, someone is asking an AI where to have dinner in your suburb. The AI gives a recommendation, a specific venue, a reason to go, maybe even a booking link. Perhaps it's a special dish. And 83% of restaurants don't appear in that answer at all. 45% of consumers are now using AI to find local venues. 12 months ago, that number was 6%. It's rapidly changing. And here's the one that really gets me. When AI does recommend your venue, those visitors convert at 9 times the rate of a regular Google search visitor, 9 times, because they've already been pre-sold. The AI made the decision for them. For most venues right now, it isn't. We'll go deep on exactly how to fix this later in the series, but I need you to see the scale of the shift first. The second shift is one we have our own data on. Because we've been measuring it across our venue network, the industry average, 40% of restaurant phone calls go unanswered. Not 4%, 40. Every missed call is between $30 and $80 in lost revenue. A booking that didn't happen, a catering inquiry that went to the venue down the road, a regular who tried to call and gave up. If your venue is missing 10 to 20 calls a day, and many businesses are, that's a 6-figure revenue hole sitting there invisibly every single year. You can't see a missed call on your end of the night report. It just disappears. We can see it in our own data. Across venues running Otto, we're capturing phone order revenue that was previously walking out the door. In some cases, $500 a day per venue from calls that would have gone unanswered or hit an engaged signal during peak service. And during a single peak dinner hour, some of our venues are fielding over 30 calls. On a normal phone line, most of that is lost. Nobody else in the industry can show you that data because nobody else is sitting inside the call volume that we are right now. We'll go deep on this later, but I want you sitting with that 40% number because for most venues, it's money that's already leaving and nobody has noticed. The third shift is about consumer behavior. And this one changes how you think about every regular you already have. Australians are dining out 12% less frequently than pre-2020. The cost of living is real, discretionary spend is tighter, and people are being more deliberate about when and where they go out. I'm sure this is probably not news to you. But here's what's interesting. When they do go out, they're spending more. Average spend per head is up 8 to 15%. Consumers aren't disappearing, but they're curating. They pick 4 or 5 venues, they rotate, and they go back to the places they felt worth it, where the experience matched the price, and they felt like a regular, not a transaction. And 1 in 3 diners changed their favorite restaurant in the last year, not because the food got worse, because they found somewhere that made them feel a bit more known. The game right now isn't to find more customers, it's to make sure the ones you already have choose you, deliberately, repeatedly, instead of drifting to whoever made them feel more valued last month. That's the competitive battlefield in 2026. Not acquisition, it's retention. One of the things I get to see from where I sit is what's happening at the platform level before most operators feel it in their own business. And what's been unfolding over the past 2 years is significant. I'll give you the quick version. DoorDash has acquired 7rooms. They acquired Deliveroo. Uber is in the process of moving on Delivery Hero. And quietly, very quietly, American Express has built an empire. They now own both Resi and Tok, and they've done even more acquisitions in this space and are likely to do more. These aren't random deals. Every single one of them is a platform betting it can own more of your customer's journey. Discovery, booking, ordering, payment, loyalty, all of it. One ecosystem, one relationship between the platform and your customer, with you as the venue in the middle. This is not speculation. This is where the money is moving right now. And look, I want to be clear. I'm not standing here saying platforms are the enemy. Don't get me wrong. They solve real problems. Discovery is real. Reach is real. But there's a meaningful difference between using a platform as a tool and being dependent on one as your primary customer relationship. And the consolidation happening right now is making that distinction more important, not less. The venues that are winning right now haven't waited to see how this plays out. They're building the customer relationship themselves in their own systems under their own brand. So no matter which platform acquires which, no matter how fees shift or algorithms change, their position doesn't move. That's where you want to be. And here's something I've noticed across 2 decades with venues. The ones growing right now, posting the strong numbers, building genuine resilience, aren't necessarily bigger or better funded or in a better location. They've made a handful of decisions that are compounding in their favor. And most of those decisions aren't complicated. I want to show you just 3 of them. One pizza franchise made a single decision: shift their delivery volume off the aggregator and onto their own direct channel. The result, nearly $250,000 a year saved in aggregator fees. That number alone would get most operators' attention. But the number I actually want you to focus on is this one: an 18% increase in the size of their customer database, purely as a byproduct of where they order from. They didn't run a campaign, they didn't hire anyone. They just changed the channel. And suddenly they knew who every customer was, could reach out to them again and again, and own that relationship outright. That was just one decision. Another customer, a venue in regional New South Wales, introduced Otto. Every call gets answered around the clock, bookings handled, questions answered, orders taken, and because the AI never forgets to upsell, average order value holds up consistently. Here's what their last month looked like in practice. 27 calls through Otto, 16 confirmed orders a day, average order value of $31. That's around $500 in phone order revenue captured every single day. Revenue that before Otto was going unanswered or being handled inconsistently by whoever happened to be free at the counter. That's just one venue. In regional New South Wales, not a flagship city location with hundreds of covers, a venue where the phone used to compete with service for someone's attention. And on the night staff don't show, which happens to every venue, nobody's immune, the phone doesn't go silent. Revenue doesn't walk out the door. But here's the part that most people don't think about when they think about missed calls. Venues don't just miss calls because nobody answers. They miss calls because the line is engaged. A normal phone line can handle only so many calls at once. During a Friday dinner rush, when 10 people are trying to order at once, 9 of them hit a busy signal and hang up. Otto answers multiple callers simultaneously. So instead of the dinner rush sending customers to voicemail or a competitor, you capture it. One venue in our network during a single peak dinner hour received 36 calls, with 22 of those being order calls. On a normal phone line, most of that would be lost. With Otto, it's not. When margins are tight, the instinct to discount just increases. I see it everywhere. 20% off Tuesday, free delivery this weekend, buy one, get one free. But discounting is not loyalty. It's renting loyalty. The moment the deal stops, the sugar rush is over, the customer moves to whoever has the next offer. You haven't built a relationship, you build a habit around price. And that is a race to the bottom. You cannot win against platforms that can subsidize discounts indefinitely. The venues that are genuinely winning on retention have figured this out. They're not buying repeat visits, they're earning them. A pizzeria we work with in Sydney is a great example. They send one SMS campaign every week. Not random blasts, a consistent rhythm, a clear offer, a clear reason to act that might be pushing a specific product, filling a quieter day, or creating urgency around a limited time offer. What matters is the consistency. Their customers now expect to hear from them. When a message lands, customers recognize it and they act. It's the same kitchen, it's the same team, same menu, just a smarter relationship with the customers they already had. A wonderful Queen Charity. Later on, we'll go deep into exactly how they run this. And it's really worth listening to every single minute of that. Make sure you catch that one. So these aren't one-off stories. The pattern is consistent across our network. Loyalty members spend 22% more often and 18% per visit than non-loyal customers. Venues running direct ordering as their primary channel are operating at meaningfully higher margins than those dependent on aggregators. And venues using AI-powered tools for calls, marketing, and data are reducing missed revenue and labor dependency at the same time. The individual wins are real, and so is the pattern behind them. I want to acknowledge the environment honestly, because the pressure is real. Wages are up 4.75% in Australia from July 1. Before you factor in penalty rates, overtime, leave loading, the new payday super timing, food costs are up, consumers are choosing more carefully. Anyone telling you the margin squeeze isn't real isn't looking at the same industry I am. But here's what I think is worth naming about why it's so acute right now. Beyond just wages and food. Think of it like an elastic band being stretched from both ends at once. On one side, aggregators have spent years training customers to expect discounts, free delivery, 20% off, buy one, get one free. Consumer expectations for what going out should cost have been pulled in one direction. On the other side, venues absorb those discounts and then pay the commission on top of it. Merchant margins get pulled the other way. Stretch an elastic band hard enough in both directions and it snaps. What we're seeing across the industry right now, venues are under pressure despite record order volumes. Is that snap starting to happen? The venues winning this environment have stopped trying to solve it by working harder. You can only work so hard. They're working smarter. Understanding which channels are actually profitable and building the ones that don't depend on a platform's discount economics. That shift is available to every venue in this room. Just being busy is not the answer. The feeling of being busy doesn't equal profitability. Now, here's something that might surprise you. Most venues are already sitting on 3 things they haven't fully activated. The first is customer data they've collected but never used, email addresses, phone numbers, order history, sitting in a system doing nothing. That's a direct marketing channel waiting to be switched on. The second is revenue that doesn't compete with anyone. Catering, private events, off-peak experiences, channels that don't require a new customer, don't pay commission to a platform, and often run at a better margin than the dining room. The third is tools that they've already been paying for that aren't fully using. Most venues are running at a fraction of what their tech stack is capable of. The venues we work with who've unlocked this aren't special. They've just made the decision to actually use what they already had. I want to describe a mindset shift I see in the venues that consistently outperform. They stopped measuring success by how busy they were. A packed Saturday doesn't tell you if you made money. A long queue doesn't tell you whether those customers will come back. Volume is a vanity metric. And for a lot of venues, it's the main thing they're watching. The venues that thrive measure different things. How profitable is each channel? Delivery, dining, events, catering. How profitable is it on its own? How many customers can they reach directly without going through a platform? What share of their revenue comes from people who chose them deliberately, not because an algorithm served them up, but because they had a real reason to come back. That shift in what you measure changes what you do, and what you do determines what you build. I want to leave you with 3 questions. They're not rhetorical ones. I genuinely want you to sit with them. 1, 45% of consumers are now using AI to find local venues. Does your venue show up? Pull out your phone after this session and ask ChatGPT where to eat in your suburb. Is your venue in that answer? 2, how many phone calls did your venue miss last week? Not an estimate, the actual number. Most venues don't know. And if you don't know what it costs you. You need to find that out. 3, of your last 100 customers, how many can you reach right now? Not how many came back on their own, but how many could you proactively contact today if you needed to fill seats on a slow Tuesday? If you don't have a clear answer to all 3 of those, you've got a starting point. I want to close on something I genuinely mean. The operators who struggle in this environment are the ones who keep doing what worked 5 years ago and wait for the world to adjust back. It won't. The 3 shifts I've shown you today aren't slowing down, they're accelerating. But you're not those operators. You showed up today, you're already asking the right questions and investing time in your business, not just in running it. It's a decision that compounds just like the tech decisions I've been talking about. This series is about giving you the answers. Real data, real tools, real decisions that real venues are making right now and what's happening as a result. Okay, this is my last slide. I just wanted to end with giving everyone a little bit of homework to do. It's a 5-minute profitability check on each channel, and I need you to just check it one at a time. So, one thing, 5 minutes this week, pick your highest volume platform. Pull up last month's numbers and fill in 5 figures. Total orders, average order value, discounts given, platform fees paid, and your food cost. Then look at the last number, your estimated profit per order. Most operators have never actually calculated this. They look at order volume and assume the revenue is healthy. They don't see the platform fees netted off, the discounts absorbed, the food cost on top. When you work through all 5 lines, the number at the bottom is often a surprise and not always a good one. Do it for your top platform first, the one that gives you the most business, makes you busiest. Then repeat it for the next one. The comparison between your aggregator channel and your direct channel is where the real picture becomes clear. That's your starting point. Everything we've talked about today follows from knowing that number honestly. Make sure you do this for each platform. You'll also be sent an email after this session with the metrics that you need to track. And don't forget to join us for next week's session. Same time Tuesday, Narelle will be taking you more in depth about owning your platform and how it changes the picture in your venue. There is a lot of value in this session. Do not miss it. Lastly, I'd just like to say thank you all for coming. I'd love to take some questions. If you want to work through your own numbers, let us know and we can follow it up. Thank you all. Okay, thank you all. I've got a couple of questions. I'll start with Gary. Gary's got an interesting question. And I definitely want to point out that we are tracking the sentiment of what people are experiencing when it comes to using Otto and AI. So we do get to listen to some of the recordings, but mostly what we do is we pump it all into AI and get a sentiment analysis. And there is the odd person that doesn't like using AI, I'll definitely admit. And it's interesting. It's usually somewhere between the middle-aged people that don't like using it. Older people, I don't think even notice that it's AI because the technology has advanced so far in the last year. Even in the last 6 months, it's advanced so far, and it is so seamless now. And as the new version of AI comes out again and again, we jump onto the latest one. So we will soon be using the conversational AI once that gets released. And then that allows us to have full conversational AI, which is much more natural, much more like what we speak in a normal environment. So you'll see this getting better and better and better to the point I honestly think in 12 months, you will not be able to tell the difference between AI and a human. It is amazing, crazy, and scary at the same time. I'll have to admit that. Does Otto, this is a question from Alex. Thanks for joining. Does Otto use our existing Mobi menus? Yes, it does. So we've designed Otto to be integrated directly into HungryHungry and Mobi. So we've made it as simple as possible to just literally one click, turn it on. It'll just pull your menu out and you can be up and running within a couple of hours. So it is actually quite easy to do. We've put a lot of effort into making it the most seamless experience that we can possibly do. Next one, I've got one from Alex again. Do you need to change your phone number to Otto? So we can do it different ways. We can keep your phone number and just redirect it to Otto, or we can create a new phone number and put that basically anywhere, whether it's your Google My Business, your website, anywhere where you display that number. So it's really up to you. So we can be very flexible on that. Can Otto accept reservations? Yes. So we do reservations. We haven't directly linked it to any reservation systems like 7 Rooms just yet. We do have people looking into that at the moment, but it's a bit early at this stage. We find that most of the reservations inquiries that we got really are just about changing or modifying or canceling reservations. Most people are pretty happy to just go online and do a reservation. So realistically, most of that modifying and canceling reservations, you probably still want a human to just take that call because sometimes you might be able to save that reservation as well. So we just seamlessly pass that back to the restaurant most of the times. Or we take the message and we print out a docket or we put it on an email or whatever it might be to communicate back to you so that you can contact that customer. So we use Mobi in our restaurant as a connector between customer and third-party platforms. This is a question from Harpreet. Of late, I saw Mobi has been offering various features like sending some regular discounts to customers through SMS, but how's all that going to work? It feels like you guys are so concentrated in Australia. So yeah, we do have multiple marketing platforms that we can use. So we can integrate with many marketing platforms. We have our own. We do allow email, SMS communication. If you have your own app, we can do notifications to your customers through that. So when it comes to discounts, it is definitely a sign of the times that people are doing a lot of discounts. And I think that's where the likes of the aggregators are going very heavy on discounting. And, I think that in this day and age, it is a natural part of most businesses. I think we're going to see the tail end of that coming out, but who knows when that is. We don't have a crystal ball. But yeah, there's definitely a lot of discounting, but this is something where we just provide the tools for you guys to use. If that's something that you want to use, if you want to promote a particular thing, it doesn't have to be a discount. You can just do it informational. You can do many different other promotions, but we provide the tools and we allow you to do that. So what we have found is that a lot of franchisees are really heavily discounting on the aggregators, and they're getting busier and busier and busier. But that's not necessarily a profitable way to run their business. So we do encourage you to communicate to your customers. It's best if you own that channel as much as you can. Again, it doesn't have to be a discount. You can still just tell them about the latest special or the latest new item that you've put onto the menu that they might find interesting. Is Otto a complimentary free add-on to our monthly Mowbray subscription? So we have different tiers. So yes, we do have a free model, and just like most software out there, you get the basics, and it works really, really well. But if you want to add certain features, you have to pay for the extra model. And one of those features is having your own voice. So we have customers where they've actually literally recorded their own voice. We've given them 30 pages of stuff to read out, and it's actually quite crazy for a customer to be able to call up themselves and talk to themselves, and it's a dead ringer. You wouldn't be able to tell the difference. So that's obviously it comes at an extra cost to us, and so we'll pass that cost on as well. So, but there is a lot of extra cool functionality that does unlock. But yes, you do get quite a lot of functionality already in the basic version. Does Otto integrate with our POS system, or is it a printer tablet? So Otto can definitely go into HungryHungry or Mowbray, and then therefore into your POS system, but it also can run as a separate tablet and printer solution. So you've got all of that optionality. I tried to use the SMS marketing tool, but seems like it's not ready yet. Okay. Preet, we'll grab your details and catch up with you and find out what happened there. Alrighty, any other questions? I think. Okay. So just I've got a note here. I've been passed. So there has been a lot of interest in the in Otto, and Scotty's really leading the charge. He's got a session coming up. I'm not sure if his session is in 2 weeks. So he'll have all the data, all the information, all the extra stuff to go over that with you. Are you able to share more about the Otto? Yeah. So basically, Scott will have a whole presentation about Otto. He's really been leading the whole charge with Otto. He's extremely excited to show everyone what it can do. And we're literally rolling out features on a daily basis with Otto. We rolled out an app 2 weeks ago. It's already in the App Store. There is so much that is able to be brought to the market. And realistically, we want to really hear what you guys like and don't like about Otto, because we want to be so responsive to what you guys want to see in this product. We think it's an amazing product. It can really help out venues and make sure that all calls get answered, but we want to make sure that it's doing exactly what you need. Okay, there we go. Thank you, Liz. So Scott's session is on Tuesday, 9 a.m. Melbourne time. Yes, 18th of August. So for those from Canada, that'll be about 14 hours behind. One more from Gary. He's getting lots of his orders from Uber. Yes. So yeah, we definitely have seen a huge rise, to be honest, in the amount of orders going through the aggregators. It's not just Uber, it's all of the aggregators. And at the same time, we can literally see the data that the orders are going like this through Uber and DoorDash and all the other aggregators, but also the discounting is going at the exact same rate. So we're not saying it's a bad thing, but we are saying that you just need to be careful of it and mindful of it. That are you creating a dependency for your consumers? Are they now loyal to those other aggregator brands rather than to your brand? And do they know who you are? Do they want to listen to you? Do they want to get information from you? And are they really under your control, your ability to speak to them? So again, we're not saying don't use the aggregators. We're definitely not saying that. We think they serve a great place in the market, but we want to make sure that you guys are informed with whether it's profitable for you. Are you making money at the end of the day using all these aggregators? Or is there an alternative that you can work in together with the aggregators and with your Mobi or HungryHungry software and Otto? Another one from Alex. The moment the discount is stopped with Uber DoorDash, the volume drops off. Not sustainable. Yeah, I think probably everyone would agree. It's like I said with the elastic band, it's getting to a point where it's stretched so far, it's going to snap back, and it's just not sustainable. These aggregators are very, very profitable. And if you have a look at who's winning, the aggregators are winning, the consumers are winning, and a lot of the merchants are doing it a lot harder than it needs to be. So again, use them where you need to, but work out how you can direct them to your channel as well. Any other? Yep, Liz. Okay. Yep. Great. Alrighty. I think I'm getting the wind up from Liz. So great to see everyone here. And thanks for joining us. And we really look forward to seeing everyone for the next few. And hopefully we'll do as many of these as we can forever. Thank you. Bye-bye.